Hey everyone, today I've got your White House Down movie review. I have been actually looking forward to seeing this movie because there was a similar movie, Olympus Has Fallen, which had basically the same scenario where the White House is being taken over, people are being held hostage, and there's always like the one action star take care of business. Is the president, and Channing Tatum, who plays this guy who is trying to become a Secret Service agent, and he and his daughter, played by Joey King, take a visit to the White House, and apparently stuff just goes downhill from there. This is a movie directed by Roland Emmerich, and I had been a fan of his work. I know he's well known for making all these disaster movies and these like disaster situations. And in this case, yes, I would say this is kind of a hostile takeover, especially in the White House, almost similar to what happened in Independence Day, but without the aliens. I didn't really want to go into this movie comparing it to Olympus Has Fallen because I had actually enjoyed Olympus Has Fallen, and I was really surprised at how I originally felt like that movie was going to be a flop and then this one was going to be really good because you know, some of the actors in this movie, are very well known. You also have Maggie Gyllenhaal and James Woods and also Jason Clarke, who plays the main bad guy. This movie, it definitely proved that, it had potential, it had a lot of action. The CGI was to be expected, and I would say that the CGI in this movie was much better than the CGI in Olympus Has Fallen, and more of what I would see like if I were watching 2012. So it's typical Roland Emmerich special effects. Obviously in this type of movie you always have to have some kind of like comic relief with also a serious tone, which I like that balance. I thought that it worked well for the most part. A lot of the things I was really surprised of some of the scenes that were going on and how it actually was almost kind of violent, but it wasn't like too violent, but it was just kind of like scary almost, but not like horror scary, just me thinking like, oh wow, like this could happen in real life and all these people get put in these situations. And it almost reminded me of Air Force One in a way. Kind of didn't want to think like, oh, like it's not like, could it really be that easy, like could they really have people like really planning this and like months or years in advance and actually make this happen. It's surprising how the people actually they're trying to resolve this situation, yet I feel like nothing ever really got done. People were always just sort of pointing fingers and wanting to do things their own way, especially when the president was not able to serve his active role. I felt like Channing Tatum's character overshadowed Jamie Foxx's character. Considering that Jamie Foxx played the president, I would have assumed that he would have had a more substantial role in the movie. I definitely think like Channing Tatum, I knew he's like one of those like standout characters. He's an action star and he's like been in like a lot of things recently, and so I actually liked that he actually did a pretty decent job. At first I didn't know if I was going to be able to take him seriously as an action star, but I'd seen him in G.I. Joe and some other related military type movies, so he can definitely handle the gun. But giving orders to people, I don't know if that necessarily works, especially that one scene where he and Jamie Foxx are in this car and they're trying to go out on the lawn in the White House, and Jamie Foxx is wielding a bazooka, and then he loses the bazooka, and I was just like, really? Maybe the president doesn't have as much training. I would assume I hear most presidents they have some form of military training or something, but at least he was able to keep his Jordans on. That's good for him, I guess. I would say minor characters, they were decent, and I really did find the terrorists, they were just actually really terrifying, especially when the little girl, she gets caught by them It actually gets so terrifying, like that one scene alone. I was just like immediately thinking about Air Force One in those scenes. So I actually liked it, but wouldn't say that anybody really overacted, so that was always a good thing. Overall, I would say that the movie was okay. I don't know if I'll see it again, but it would just be really hard for me not to forget that Olympus Has Fallen did come first, and that movie was actually, I can't really, I don't want to compare the two, and I can't really say which one was better than the other, because they're both, like, you know, they're similar, but they're different. They have their ups and downs, but I mean, this one is definitely a movie not to miss because it has a lot of action. The characters are pretty decent. I wouldn't even say that this is Roland Emmerich's best movie to date, but it was a pretty decent movie nonetheless. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of White House Down, and if you did see Olympus Has Fallen, how would you compare the two? As always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates, come back every week for a Trail Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys later.